Good afternoon, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Today, you guys, I just want to make a video. This one's going to be a different one. And I'm going to cause just to give you a little bit of rundown with me, I'm the child of a narcissist. I grew up around narcissists. I grew up in a really religious household. Um, and yeah, I was really sheltered. Okay, so I was not only growing up with a narcissist, I also was growing up around a bunch of other narcissists. I honestly feel like I probably grew up around more narcissists than I grew up around just like regular people. And I feel like that's why I kind of understand them. And now I don't understand them because stuff that they do don't make sense, but I see the mastermind thinking, and it's not really mastermind because they're dumb, but I understand their way of viewing the world and why they're so disgusting the way that they live. So I'm gonna make a video today telling you how the narc views the world in my personal way. Okay. Now, something I want to say just to get started, a narcissist usually is born into a very toxic, traumatic household, usually, and they experience a lot of trauma at a very young age. And so, being someone that also experienced trauma as a young child, I also remember the point where I was experiencing a lot of trauma, and I had a moment, because it became so much. I had a moment where I genuinely remember thinking, like, should I become like these people or should I not? You know? I definitely remember having a moment like that. And I also remember thinking, yeah, I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I do remember it being a moment to be like that. And even though I said no to it, the fact that I was around them so much and for so long, I did adapt traits that I had to undo. But when I had those types of traits, I was very uncomfortable in life because it just wasn't authentic. It's not who I really am. I don't like hurting people. I get nothing out of that. Just like how I feel like I don't like hurting people and I get nothing out of it. Narcissists love hurting people and they get a lot out of it because it makes them feel like they control things because they can't control themselves because they are at such a low vibration that it's completely crippling to really the true essence of what the human experience is supposed to be. And so, like I said, narcissists, they go through that. And like I chose to be good and to just not let this stuff infiltrate the true essence of who I am. Narcissists chose the exact opposite of that and, allowed it to basically become them. They became one with the with all the trauma and all that stuff. And when you do become one with it like that, you strip yourself of that experience. And I want to say something else. A lot of this stuff is spiritual, and so when all this is happening, like, I feel like there's spiritual warfare happening as well for a child to be going through trauma like this. But you gotta understand, I don't know if you guys are religious, and I'm not really here to sit and talk about like religion or nothing, but here's how I view it where you can understand it because I've been there and I've felt it and I kind of understand it and it makes sense from how I didn't understand how this was when I was younger. When you commit a lot of sin and you choose to be a nasty, low vibrational person, that is not of God. And I really think that when I learned who God was and I learned to respect my relationship with God and respect what he wants for our lives and I learned that not that he's all I got, but he's everything I need, And when you don't realize that or you can't really accept that because you're in a very extremely toxic, abusive, environment or relationship, it's very hard to connect with God because those relationships are outside of the will of God. And when you stay in them for a very long time, it becomes a normal to be at such a low vibration. It becomes a normal, you know what I'm saying? And it's just normal to you and it sucks. It does not feel good. You're not happy. Nothing about it is good. Being outside the will of God is a miserable existence. Unless you're a terrible person. Like I'm saying, like you get off on that type of stuff. It's not fun. And I feel like whenever I was outside of the will of God, I was not creative. I I feel like when you go outside the will of God, sometimes your gifts can be stripped from you temporarily as well. And I'm saying all this to say that over time of the amount of abuse that I was experiencing, I did gain traits like them, and I feel like I was under that vibration, that low vibration that they were in, because I was constantly around them. And so, and I can even remember feeling like, damn, like I just remember feeling like, wow, I do not feel happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty, I'm an awesome girl, but I'm not happy. And I like, you ever just feel like you spiritually not happy? Like, it was a different level of unhappiness. It was not even really I'm having a bad day and I'm unhappy. It really, that's the best way I could put it, it's a spiritual unhappiness. It's a spiritual unwellness. And on top of that, when you're in those low vibrations, you are very susceptible to depression, anxiety, jealousy, envy, basically self-mortification, self-humiliation, self-sabotaging, a bunch of stuff that we don't want as people. Like, you don't want any of that at all. And I also want to make another point. When I was in these type of environments, I can remember as a young person, like, and I'm going to just be transparent, y'all, okay? But as a young person, I used to remember seeing certain people or seeing other people doing certain things, or seeing people do things that I wanted to do, but I just was not in a space where I could free myself to do the type of things like that mentally. And I used to be jealous of people. I used to be jealous of, like, people that I thought looked like how I wish I looked, and, like, I literally did. And it was weird for me, because it was not a malicious jealousy. It was like, more so, I'm not in the environment to be who I am, and I wish that I could do the things, that they're doing, because those are my dreams, you know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily hate that person or like mean any harm, but it's just like, spiritually you do get jealous, because you are confined. You basically are like in soul jail when you're dealing with narcissists and you're growing up around them, and it's for a long periods of time. You are basically in spirit jail. And so when you see people out here doing things that you don't have the confidence to do, or you just couldn't put your mind to it to do, a lot of times, like, you think stuff like that. And I'm saying that to say that today, what makes me hurt a little bit, it hurts me, is that, and I'm not saying this to be vain, y'all, I'm just being honest with y'all. I look back on the people that I used to be jealous of, and I want to vomit, because I am better, I'm better. Like, I would not want to be them. I like this. Like, I like me. Whoa. Like, I'm saying, it's almost like, I feel like for me to have done that to myself is so disrespectful to me, because I know me. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. And if I could have knew that this could be me one day, I would have never wanted to be jealous of those people, because we're not even on the same level or anything like that. And I was jealous, though. I'm going to keep it real. I was jealous. But it saddens me to think like that, because I know that I'm so much better than that, and I'm jealous of something that I'm better than, like, or that I would prefer me over. You know what I'm saying? And so that is also another reason I try to really unconditionally love myself, because that's just like, that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? When you have to be honest about that, you look back and you're like, oh my God. A lot of issues really come down to you being really insecure. It's going to affect a lot of stuff in your life. It's going to affect your life. And it's going to affect how you interact with people, and it's going to affect how you talk to yourself in your head. It's going to affect how you view things that other people say. It's going to affect every aspect of your life. I feel like when it comes to narcissists, the same situation is happening, but I don't feel like, and I'm not trying to be mean, which I don't, you know what? I'm not even necessarily here to say that I'm not trying to be mean. I'm keeping it real. Narcissists cannot heal. They cannot grow. They cannot get better. And a lot of people, and I used to be one of those people too, that think that anybody can be helped by God. So realistically, anybody can change. You know what I'm saying? I used to think that. And I still think that for regular people. I think that that's possible. But when you're dealing with somebody that's disordered, it's like when you're trying to say that you think that a narc can change, or that just because a narc is going to therapy, that this is like going to change who they are and how they think. It's not. And it's to the point where the best type of example for that is for you to say a person without legs can walk on their legs. That's literally the same. Saying a narc can change is like saying a person with 0 legs, completely gone, can walk with their initial legs that they had. That's what you're saying. That's how impossible it is. And I also feel like this, right? And I'm going to make a video dedicated to this topic, but narcissists also don't repent because they feel like they don't do nothing wrong. They feel like when they do stuff that's wrong and they take stuff too far and they abuse and they traumatize and they manipulate and they lie and they're deceptive, they think all of that makes sense because this is all a game. That game got them to where they wanted to be in that area, or got them sort of like, you know what I'm saying? They look at it like that. They don't really care. And they can rationalize in their mind that what they're doing is okay because it benefits them. Like if a narc completely, disrespects you in front of your whole family, they'll disrespect you, they'll beat you, they'll do whatever, and you'll go on the next day and talk to them about the situation, and they will be like, you provoked it, you did this, you caused this, you provoked me, you da. It'll be your fault no matter what. You ask a narc why they put their hands on their girl or whatever, they cheat or whatever, and they will literally, it's almost like their brain is like it is a manipulator of the brain, but it's like so quickly. So they say stuff so quick that sometimes don't even make sense. But so quickly, you say anything to them, they will flip it on you. It is your fault because you this, and this. And while they pointing their finger at you, you almost forget this is a mentally retarded person. You really almost forget, and you consider what they're saying, because it ain't no way in hell that you trying to blame what you do on me, as if you giving me closure as to why this situation happened to me. It's a product of how I'm reacting. You a damn lie. You a damn lie. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're manipulators. And if you be around them enough and you act dumb enough around them, you will be able to see how manipulative they are about every single thing. Narcissists lie constantly. They're just lame. And you would think, like, okay, they a master manipulator. Okay, cool. You would think that all this manipulating and all this stuff can get them somewhere in life where they're not being viewed as mentally retarded. You would think that. Because y'all lie and manipulate so much. You would think that, like, y'all are getting paid by the government to lie and manipulate. Like, you would think that, like, all that lying and manipulating you doing would get you somewhere in life. A lot of the narcs, they're scums of the earth. They don't have nothing going for themselves. And yeah, they're lame. And really, a lot of times when they do have stuff going for themselves, which they're so stupid, they will self-sabotage it completely. And I will say this, I was not a narcissist when I was younger, but I was a habitual self-sabotager, and it was really weird because it felt like I had no control over myself. Because I just could not allow myself to be happy. It's weird. And it's an impulsive thing. It's like you have it's like something that is driving you to self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? They don't want y'all to know that. They don't want y'all to know that this is all the stuff that's going on. They live a miserable existence. If you